Well, we're moving on to our first championship fight of the evening.
Ooh, yeah.
5-round featherweight amateur championship contest. Brian Cizichio.
You are just kidding.
Why did that go away? It's on my fight card here. Well, sweet. We're going to wrap up our amateur card now, apparently, as Dylan Lacroix. That was a scratch. Yeah, Brent Freya just coming over to the announce table here, and he said Emma Horner is just a different human being, and she showed us. All right, well, another scratch that, hey man, it happens. So we're going to have our final amateur contest of the night, a flyweight title contest, 5 rounds. Dylan Lacroix, representing Woodrow James in the Corona fight camp, taking on our champion Paul Fleming as we send it down to Elvis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our prelim main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final amateur matchup of the evening. Are you ready for it, Southgate? Make some noise. The following contest is for the WXC Flyweight Championship. Introducing the fighters making their way into the cage at this time. First, making his way out to the WXC blue corner, this is Dylan Lacroix.
Well, as we mentioned, Woodrow James, the owner and corner man for this gym, coming out of Corona, Ontario.
You know, he was such an exciting fighter to see back in the day. Really nice striking, and he's one of them guys that could have had a nice career at this. He's just too comfy, man. Right? I mean, am I right? Like, he had potential to be someone. I mean, we really did. And I love that he's coaching because he's got an awful lot to give. But, man, I mean, this is good to see him. It was good to see him earlier here tonight. A hell of a fighter, hell of a coach. Excited about this.
And it always seems that all the cats that come over the border have a bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
They're trying to show, like, listen, we have just as high of a caliber of and depth of mixed martial arts as you guys do.
Yeah.
And they also want us to know that they want mixed martial arts in Ontario. So, hey, Ontario MMA Commission, if you're still there, could you please do something for these guys? They love coming over here, but they can't sell the tickets, and tickets are necessary to help amateurs get their career going.
Yeah,
so get your crap together. I mean, you guys were smart enough to legalize marijuana nationwide. Now let's take care of your mixed martial artists. Can we please?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that used to be so rough was Canadians would come over the border and they'd be 0-0, and we'd have a guy who was 7-2 fight and lose. And we'd be like, what the heck is going on? But that guy who was 0-0 had trained for 3.5 years before he had his first fight. The guy who was 7-2 fought mostly bar fights leading up to his fight. So I mean, this is an interesting spot to be in right now. And I still think it's a little bit of sandbagging in Canada, because you cannot look at their record. You got to look at their camp.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, Canadian hockey players are well known for coming over here and lying about their age so they can restart high school. Like Dominican baseball players used to do once in a while.
Right.
I think Miguel Cabrera was 42 in his rookie season.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying, they say, right?
Well, I mean, we talked about that earlier with the fingers in the cage, right?
Are we experiencing a super long walk out here? I think we are.
Woodrow knows the deal. I'm sure he'll get it shored up pretty quickly. And
You can't ice an opponent who's not in the cage.
Right. He's not about to attempt a field goal.
Right?
There we go. Corona Training Academy represented.
Those darn Canadians.
He was coming out on Canadian time, eh?
Right.
I don't know what that is. I would assume it'd be early, if anything.
Right.
Not now. And Woodrow James is a mail delivery person, and he's been extremely busy delivering marijuana over the last 2 weeks. and I love him for it.
Good guy, man.
Always had just a great attitude about it. He can dish it
About
out as well as he can
anything.
take it.
Oh, yeah.
Never backed away from any of the fun.
He trash talked before it was cool. Oh, and I remember him and Victor Aquino having their throwdown.
And
Man,
Tyler Finch.
Yeah, that dude. That was brutal.
That is the one thing Tyler Finch regrets is in his
I
entire
can imagine.
life. He still talks about it every time I see him.
That has to be a rough one, too. And you know what's funny, though? That there is something to the trash. I mean, I think it's been overdone. I think it's way too much. I think we're way too far. We're throwing dollies into buses. I mean, we got to chill out a little bit at some point, but because this is martial arts. I know the first mixed word, but we still got to remember martial arts. There's still respect. There's still got to be, the foundation of martial arts, which is sometimes lost.
That would be true if people didn't buy tickets and come to live events. And that wasn't what drives our sport. Sports entertainment is here and it's here to stay. I'm sorry.
I had to agree with
And
Butcher.
his opponent,
For better or for
making
worse.
his way out to the WXC red corner. Here is the WXC flyweight champion, Paul Fleming.
I'm going to pretend that he didn't just jump into our conversation, but I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to say this. GSP sells tickets. He doesn't trash talk. You have all these guys that are not trash talking. They show up, they fight, or they do some trash talk, but they don't get disrespectful.
No, there's a line.
Yeah.
Throwing a dolly through a bus.
There's nothing wrong with saying, I think I'm better than you, and I'm going to show it. You know, on Saturday night or whatever, I'm going to show you that I'm better than you. That's fine. When we start talking about each other's family, all that jazz, that's not cool. There's no need for any of that. I think that destroys. And I think at the end of the day, when we started this, I mean, I'm a no-holds-barred type of fighter that started in the grounding days before there was bouncy mats. So you took somebody down, they half died. So I know where we kind of came from and how this started. But we got to find a way to become a sport and not just be wicked violence in a cage, because at some point it's gonna get rejected.
Well, the whole thing is here because the Gracie family wanted to sell their martial art to the world. Don't forget.
That's definitely a big part of all this. Absolutely. It was not mixed martial arts when it started. They called it that, but at the end of the day, it was no holds barred fighting, and it was style versus style.
Yes, and I loved it. That was fun.
Vale Tudo.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't see the need for trash talk. However, once we watered it down and once everybody only has a certain amount of options, you take this away, you take that away, now we need extra things. But I like your faction, though.
I think Pete's going to call this fight.
Can we interrupt him?
Here we go, WXC fight fans. The following contest is your prelim main event. USA versus Canada for the WXC Flyweight Championship. This matchup will be decided in 5 rounds or less. Being brought to you by Luchador Athletic and New Radio Media. Formally introducing all 3 men in the cage at this time, your referee first is James Lee. And now your fighters. First, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in at 125 pounds. He comes to the cage sponsored by Dr. King Faisal Rahman. He is a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Corona Training Academy. He comes to the cage with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, with 1 win coming by way of submission and 1 big win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, ladies and gentlemen, here is Dylan Lacroix. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red WXC corner. Wearing blue trunks trimmed in black, he stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 122 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Level Up MMA and Victorious MMA. He comes to the cage with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, with 1 win coming by way of submission and 1 big win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Highland Park, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning, defending WXC Flyweight Champion, Paul the Flash Fleming. 5 rounds championship.
Gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. Remember the rules in the locker room. I want a good, hard, clean fight. Any questions? Let's touch them up.
Let's go, Dylan. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the WXC Amateur Flyweight Championship will be decided in 5 rounds or less.
Paul Fleming in the blue shorts and
Go have fun. Go on your left.
Well, he's called the Flash, and his last 2 fights have
Yeah.
lasted collectively a little over a minute, and he wasted no time here putting his paws on.
yeah, I mean, he throws
Dylan
fast and relentless.
And this unloading on Lacroix.
He's not, I mean, is he defending? Yeah, okay. I mean,
Fire back now.
Paul's got to be careful not to punch himself out here, though.
Yeah.
Just unloading.
I mean, right now, Dylan is weathering the storm. But, you know, I'll tell you, getting punched even through your arms, that still gets you.
Big shots from Fleming, man. And he took a deep breath.
Yeah. The catch with these knockout artists is obviously that you can easily punch yourself out.
Yeah, he threw about 100 punches in the first 30 seconds of that fight.
Uppercut hook. Come on.
Now utilizing the clinch.
he's definitely got Lacroix in the weeds.
He's got to be, but he did punch himself out a bit.
Yeah,
He's
a little
tired.
bit, you can tell. And that also is one of those lactic acid type of things where it can take away your explosivity for the rest of the fight.
Oh, beautifully
Nice
countered.
Sharp right hand right there.
Yeah, and ducked right under the head kick.
To the hook. Inside kick. That inside kick. Set it up.
He's going to have to find a way to settle down and find rhythm into a fight rather than a bullying session.
Fleming almost favoring his right arm briefly there.
Look at him tired. Let's go.
Not sure if I caught that right or not.
Nice right hand from Lacroix.
There you go. Double it up. Come with the kick. Let's go. Switch
And
jab.
Paul's simply just not the same fighter that he was in the first minute of that fight. That explosion, everything's gone. Assuming this fight gets out of the first round, the question is how well does Fleming recover, because he's still got a lot of fight left, and
Yeah.
4 straight punches in. Come on.
the kicks,
Yeah,
the punches aren't coming with the same type of velocity that they did early on.
No, and you can't stay on the outside of a guy with more reach than you because, you know, at some point they're going to be landing all kinds of stuff.
Left underhook. Left foot. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, make him work.
There we go. Yeah, good takedown defense at this point.
Underhook. Get down. Give me your face the head.
Paul might be rested a bit here. He's got his hands locked.
Yeah.
This is a matter of when he wants to try to go.
Yeah, I think maybe just waiting for the clock and then getting a takedown and just calling it a
It's awful
one-point
close.
win.
It's awful close to his opponent's corner to take a rest.
Let's go breathing
Yeah.
right now, okay? You're breathing. You're right. No. Put all your weight down. Underhook. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Simple. Hey, Dylan, get the corner, cross across. Come on. Let's go. Put the
10 seconds. Paul looks tired.
Go finish with the cross.
Oh, he's real tired.
I think
Yeah,
you
I
guys
mean, he's
nailed it.
breathing.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I would love to see if we had like a punch, you know, a punch count tally. He literally threw about 100 punches in that
I was
first
really
minute and a
interesting.
half, man.
Yeah, that after he stepped away from that last clinch,
Yeah,
he
give
was,
me my CompuBox stats. Where
yeah,
they
I
at?
mean, he was just not on his toes anymore. I mean, the ball of his feet, he was on the ball of his feet for the first 90 seconds of the fight, and then they got into that clinch, and when he got out, he was flat-footed.
Yeah, it's like if you sprint you sprint for a minute.
Yeah.
You got nothing left. What's going to be
Well, that's
crucial?
dangerous.
And
How
here
does
we
he
go.
recover from that?
I mean, look at that. Just bang, 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 bang. But
It's
a lot of
crazy.
those caught
Arms.
gloves, arms, yeah. Nothing really landing cleanly. And the question is, how well does Paul Fleming recover between round 1 and round 2? Because if he still has his energy zapped, which, I mean, again, this is a really difficult thing to come back from.
And this is a championship fight. You have 5 rounds. 5.
Come on, ref. Come
Maybe a
You gave him the rule, remember?
little bit of
What's this shit?
gaming shit. A little spill in Fleming's corner.
Coaches, I am. But he spilled water because he's tired. You know that.
Lacroix corner calling out the spill, trying to buy him a little bit of time.
Canada's in Michigan, you can tell, hey. Two right hands, Church, one to your left. Come on.
And he's tired. So we go round 2 in our 5-round flyweight amateur title bout, the main event of our undercard.
Yeah.
Double it up with the right hand.
I don't like Paul's hands being as low as they are. I know he feels safe, but I don't think that's a smart thing to feel that safe. Even though nothing with great power landed, there were some lands towards the end of that round.
Yeah, a lot of guys that have speed like that. Oh, he's got to be careful with his.
Yeah, I mean, he's slipping with his hands way down.
Got clipped there with the overhand right.
Yeah.
And Dylan landed a couple short right hands in the exchange there.
Yeah.
Nice uppercut.
Oh, yeah. A couple of those shots came through, and those knees, too. But Dylan is game, man.
Your hands are high right now, right?
And
Your hands are high.
I don't know if it's because he learned his lesson in the first round or it's because he's tired, but Paul definitely. Oh, nice right hand. Whoa. Paul Fleming in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Now Lacroix's pouring it on. What a turn of events. Paul Fleming in a ton of trouble. James Lee looking close. Fleming's got to respond. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks over. James Lee just watching, but
you got to take it from the champion, they say, but I think he's taking it, man.
yeah, this fight's over.
Yeah.
Wow. What a comeback. Lacroix, our new flyweight champion, weathered the storm early.
Those darn Canadians, man. Coming here, taking our jobs. I mean, belts. belts. That's a valuable belt. That's a good question. Will he have to declare that belt at the border?
LaCroix showed a ton of heart, man.
Oh, man.
And composure to be able to sit there and weather and just sit in the pocket. And then to rally in the second round, hurt Fleming, and to stop him. And
this guy, do you see, is still breathing pretty comfortably. Still. I mean, this guy's ready for this stuff, man.
Here's the finish. There's a right hand. And then there were his knees in the clinch. And Paul started to turn away. And, James gave the champion, in my opinion, more than enough time. And
because so many of them were blocked and he is the champion, I think it's fair. There was no incredible damage taken here. And I think maybe a touch he wanted to tell him, you're going to show up for a championship fight that's 5 rounds? You got to be ready.
Yeah, but I don't really think that's the referee's place to do something like that.
You know James, though.
Yeah,
sometimes he'll help you learn a lesson.
James is always going to give you the benefit of the doubt and let you fight your way out of a bad spot.
Yeah, he does.
Well, they came to town, they defeated the champion, and now Pete Trevino is going to make it official.
Exciting fight. That was explosive
that was
the
a great
whole
fight.
way
That's
through.
an early fight of the night candidate.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for both of the fighters in this cage. Referee James Lee steps in to stop this contest at 1 minute, 23 seconds of the second and final round for your winner by TKO and new WXC flyweight champion, Dylan Lacroix.
Excellent win for Lacroix.
Yeah.
And I think a very valuable lesson learned by Fleming.
Absolutely. And how many more fights do we think Dylan needs to make the jump? I think he's pretty damn close.
Well, his posse's about to be on Broadway.
I want to see his grappling because I think that's a big part of the puzzle that we didn't get to see.
Well, that's the thing. And I remember when they clinched, I hear Woody going, no, 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 no. So he clearly wanted this fight standing up. So yeah, that is true.
All right, center of the cage with the brand new WXC flyweight champion, Dylan Lacroix. How you feeling, Dylan?
Fucking awesome.
Well said.
Me too, man. Congratulations to you. Coming out of Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, fighting for Woodrow. Where's Woody at? There he is right there. Out of Corona Training Academy. What can you tell us about your training camp, man, you had for this fight and all the people you got? And who do you got to thank?
Everybody at CTA is awesome, and they all push me to be better. Jamie, Cody, Woody, these three guys, I wouldn't be here doing this right now if it wasn't for them. They pushed me so much over the last 4 weeks. Everybody from Sarnia, there's too many people to think of, but just, I want to say thanks to WXC for the chance, thanks to Paul Fleming for taking the fight, and King Faisal for doing all my medicals. Thanks, he's awesome. I'm just grateful to take this back to Canada, baby.
Yeah, what's it going to be like when you're crossing the bridge at Customs? What's it going to be like when you're wearing that hardware?
It'll be in the front dash so they can ask about it.
Good enough. Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands. Check him out on all his social media sites. He's the brand new WXC flyweight champion, Dylan Lacroix.
10 pounds of gold are going back over the border.
Right. Yeah, that legitimately is.